Hello and welcome to my first sketchbook tour video. This is my second attempt at filming this because the first time I talked really fast, I flipped through it really fast, and it was kind of a stressful vibe because I was feeling very anxious about sharing this, and then also it was like off-center in the framing, and so it bothered me that it was framed really badly, so I'm hoping it works out better this time. But I've got my stress relief candle on to try and like set the tone. Yeah, so I finished this a couple weeks ago. This one goes from March of last year to February, but it's like the very end of March to the very beginning of February. So it's more like 10 months rather than 12 months. And for about 7 months off and on in here, I wasn't using it at all. So it's really like 3 months worth of actual using of it alongside using other sketchbooks. So this isn't all the stuff I've done in this time, it's just the stuff that made it into this sketchbook. I don't particularly have a reason why. I mean, I like this paper better for some things, but generally I just kind of use whatever sketchbook I want. None of them are my like pretty sketchbook and my ugly sketchbook. They're all just kind of a mess. And just like, there's a lot of swatching, a lot of scribbling, a lot of just brainstorming. It's not pretty. And yeah, so this sticker is a Lee Alexson sticker. This was a Cheyenne Barton Patreon exclusive sticker. And then this is a test sticker that I made when I was preparing stuff for my shop. So this design is available in my shop, but not in this colorway. It comes in a different color. But if you like this heckin' chunky burb, then you can check it out. So I'm going to skip the first page because it has my email address on it. But this is the first spread. And I was trying to do that thing where you just fill the whole spread with random stuff in a limited color palette and it looks cute. That didn't work because this is hot garbage. But I like the colors, and these are the colors I used, I guess. I've got my, like, opera pink peeking through in there. Don't really know what most of this is about. It's not really, I don't know. I feel like I was trying something and it didn't work, but that's okay. I was also just experimenting with, like, mixing these colors and stuff, which was kind of fun. Like this kind of like pink that I think I got from mixing the opera and the, what is this, beige probably? So that's kind of cool. Painting some armchairs because that's what I do. I mean, you probably have no idea, but a couple years ago I did the 100-day project and I painted an armchair every single day. And then that kind of became a thing that I really liked doing, so I had some original paintings in my shop that I sold. I don't think they're there right now, but I might bring them back. And I now also have like armchair stickers and armchair prints that you can buy in my shop, just because like I very much like, there's something about armchairs that I've not been able to find any other type of thing that I enjoy painting quite so much in this way. So I don't know what it is. It's like there's so much variation in shape and color, and it's kind of like, it's almost organic, but it's not quite. I don't know. It's fun. So this was me kind of doing thumbnailing, kind of planning out for a painting I wanted to do of a local cafe that's just like one of my favorite places in town, and I wanted to do a painting of it to put on our wall. And I haven't done it yet, and this was July. But you can see, where's March 29th, July 27th. So, like, oh, March 30th, sorry, and then July 27th. That's a gap. And then I use this a lot in August, so there's more just trying out that building and just picking colors and stuff. Here, I was trying to figure out what colors, if I was going to make sort of just like pick some primaries to use, mostly because I wanted to start trying with acrylics, like not acrylic gouache, but just like acrylics, and I was just going to get primaries, and I wanted to see like, do I prefer a more magenta based primary or like a red, yellow, blue primary, and I kind of just used what I had. And then I experimented with some like not quite primaries, like this one was my favorite, opera pink, yellow, Prussian blue. Like this I'm very into, but obviously it's not the best to use opera pink as one of your main colors if you want things to, you know, last. But this is still fun, and I might go back to that at some point. But these were the Liquitex basics I got. I ended up getting like a warm and a cool of each of the primaries, and then I think I also got a green and a purple, and then I ended up getting a couple others like burnt sienna and yellow ochre, just to kind of make it easier to mix stuff. And then recently I got kind of a hot pink like that, so I haven't used it that much, but I don't do acrylics a lot. I'm trying to get into it more, but these were just some sketches with colored pencils. I think at this point I just had like the Amazon Basics 72 pack of colored pencils, and I was just trying to see if I liked using them, if I could justify getting nicer ones. So these are gouache and there's a sticky note on here. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Gouache and then maybe crayon on top. I just got crayons in the summer and I was playing with those. I went to the park and just did some sketching with markers. I think these are Crayola Super Tips. And just some weird stuff. I don't know. And goosenecks are weird. I'm just drawing these like shapes of goosenecks and stuff. This was me trying out acrylic ink, and it kind of got away from me. Oh yeah, you can see. I said what it was because I'm like, what the heck? Just trying to draw tree texture. I don't know. This is just looking at things. I don't know. More like, yeah, August is when I got into going outside to sketch, which is really unfortunate because it's wasp season and I'm terrified of wasps, so I had to run away a lot when I tried to go out sketching, and I didn't get to do a lot. So I'm excited to start sketching outside when the weather turns nice and get a few months of unwasped season to sketch in. Just some like trying to capture what the sky looked like because it was like pink and gray and it did not work. Here I'm trying the Crayola Super Tips with water, which was kind of fun, and I don't really know what's going on, but it's colorful. This I think I did on the train. That was like my backpack. My backpack was just gray, but I decided to use crayons and make it all sorts of colors, and I actually really like that, and I feel like I'd like to revisit that into something. Like, I would like a print or sticker of that. I think that would be cool. I don't know if anyone else would. No one else seems to want the prints and stickers of my stuff that much. But I just sort of like make stuff that I like, and yeah. Here I was testing out some watercolors. I think I just got a couple new ones and I was just mixing them with stuff that I had. Again, more playing with watercolors. These are probably Super Tips. Yeah, I just got Undersea Green and Shadow Violet from Daniel Smith watercolors, and I just got these different drawing pencils when I was out of town at a different art store, because my local art store does not carry those, and I was very excited to find them, and I ended up going back and buying more. So yeah, just playing with watercolors. I think this was still, I was out of town, and I was just bored, because I wake up really early before anyone else, and yeah. Sketch of a photo that I had taken earlier, so I took the photo in July, but I drew this in August, and yeah, it's a very long bird. I don't know why it's so long, but whatever. Yeah, I ended up going back and getting more pencils. So this was like all in one weekend trip or whatever. Playing with the Shadow Violet watercolor and layering pencils over it, and then this ended up being the basis for an art that I made that I've turned into a print. So that's available in my shop as well, and it's like, this is kind of like it's either a painting on the wall or it's a window into some fantastical outer space realm against like a yellow wall, and I think it's cool anyway. This is me sketching what I want a corner of my bedroom to look like with, I really want a yellow wingback chair, I really want pink walls, I really want this green zebra wallpaper and a little bookshelf. Don't know if that will ever happen. Some birds, I don't know. I just, every time I'm just like not sure what to draw, I just draw birds. More sketches of stuff from around town. I just got more color pencils. I think I got a bunch of like Faber-Castell, and so I was like trying them out and trying to make like a set for myself. Here I was like trying stuff out, trying to make considering making a larger painting based on this. I don't think I ever did yet, but this is from a photo that I took. And so this is, there's definitely color pencil in here. There's watercolor. There's some gouache. I think that might be it. And then this one is oil pastel, like cheap Pentel oil pastel. And then I went over it with matte acrylic medium that was like tinted slightly with like a brownish color, so it gives it kind of like a vintagey sepia tone kind of. It tones it down a bit, but it also means it doesn't like smudge. So that was kind of a cool trick that I did. I don't know. More planning out something I wanted to make into a painting. I think I tried making this a painting and I didn't get very far and I didn't like it, and I just like painted over it, and I don't think I've done anything with that painting yet. So some more birds. As you can see, I like to put color shapes around the birds because I don't know how to fill space. These were color pencil, and then I went over them a bit with watercolor, I guess. I don't know. This is somewhat of a mystery and what's going on in my brain when I do these things. I don't know. These I had like painted the backgrounds with blue gouache because I just had like, or maybe it was acrylic paint, but I just had like leftover paint on my palette or something, and so I painted the backgrounds, and then I went back later and I just went over them with color pencil. Oh, here's when I got my Neocolor 2. So these are my first Neocolor 2 colors. Some water-soluble graphite. Mixing them together. Just trying stuff out. There's a lot of swatching. Neocolor 2 and a bit of watercolor. Just kind of like a view out my window loose sketch. This was mixing the water-soluble graphite with my Winsor Newton Cotman watercolor palette. More Neocolors. I gradually add more and more Neocolors, and now I have like a bajillion. But so these are my different drawing pencils. these were the Neo colors I had up to that point. I like doing swatches. And then I think there's a jump here. So this is from August, and this is around that time. And then this is from the end of November. So this was when I decided that I wanted to practice painting florals. And I really didn't like how this turned out. I like it better now, but like I like the colors in here and stuff. And then this ended up becoming like a color palette kind of that I used for another sort of painting collage project. And it's like I ended up going on a bit of a painted floral binge after that point. And then we were in December and I was playing with Posca markers, and I really enjoyed using Posca markers, and I started like developing like this mug design, which I ended up making a postcard with a bunch of little mugs on it, like these. And so I was just like trying it out here. Here I was making like, again, I was doing mugs with floral design where I would paint the floral design on a page and then I would cut out the shape of the mug and glue it together so it was like a collage painted thing. And I was just trying out different color palettes for it. So I think this became one. This was just leftover paint because I just like to just slap leftover paint on the page, as you can see. This is another color palette. I don't like this. I don't know if that became anything. Gross. That one I probably use. This one is very me. This is all just leftover paint from various other paintings and other sketchbooks. More Posca. I ended up getting a bunch more Poscas because I just really enjoyed using them, and now I have, again, this is what happens. I have like a few of an art supply, and then I get into using it, and suddenly I need every color. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but yeah. So here I'm just trying like plaids, I guess, just trying to see what effects I can get using the Poscas. Ooh, ice is falling. Okay. Swatching all the new Poscas I got. I mean, some of these are the new ones plus the old one, so it's like all my Poscas all together. That's a doodle of the sweater that I knit for myself last November. And I've worn it in some videos. It's like, and I think I have a drawing I did of me in this sweater as my like profile pic. I just really love this sweater. Again, it's very me. This was my outfit of the day. So my checkerboard sweater, my leopard print skirt that was very poorly represented here, and then little chair earrings. That's what my earrings looked like that day. That's also kind of like a shirt I have. Not quite. Again, more Posca doodles. And I ended up coming up with an idea for these prints with like the fruit and then the color background. And the peaches and the pears ended up becoming seamless patterns that I made into envelopes for greeting cards. So you can buy like a greeting card with a hand-drawn fruit on the front that I like draw with Posca directly onto the card itself. So each one is like one of a kind of thing. Like it's all like no two are exactly the same. They're all like done by hand. But then the envelope is printed with this design on it. And I cut and fold it myself, and yeah. More florals, this time with Neo Color 2. I was thinking about doing some, like, drawing little bags to make stickers or something out of some of my favorite styles of bags. That's supposed to be a tote bag. That just looks like a bucket. I don't know. This is kind of like my Cambridge Satchel Company bag, except mine's more like this color, but I really want a red one. But I was like layering Neo colors, so I don't know if you can see, but I'm gonna see if I can like hold it up, if you can see like, I don't know, the layered colors, and there's like all sorts of colors going on in there, but it kind of, you know, reads as red, but there's like light blue scribbled in there, and I don't know, I kind of like that dirty, messy kind of thing. This was on Christmas. I was out of town and I missed our planty boys at home, so I drew them. And more birds. Or these ones are kind of borbs because they're quite round, which are my favorite. Again, Neocolor 2, I was very into the Neocolor 2 and layering. I like, you know, laying down some of it and then using the water to like smush it around and then layering on top with more. It's kind of a fun process. So this, we go up to January. This was for my 13 medium challenge, and the week was regular markers, just because I had a week for acrylic markers and a week for alcohol markers that were both coming up later, and I just wanted one that's like regular markers, like Crayola Super Tips or whatever you have kind of thing. And this was just me kind of scribbling and doodling, and I used water with them to get this effect, which I kind of like. And then I layered color pencil with these, and it's like, it's very messy, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know. This was the ballpoint pen week. And I used some of the Crayola Super Tips with water to create like a watercolor effect around it. I like this little like houses thing. That's kind of cute. I kind of want to do something with this sort of composition of some sort. I don't know. What am I swatching here? Oh, these are watercolors. So these are the first four. This one, this one, this one, and this one are my first four watercolors that were not Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolors. So this was the Shadow Violet and Undersea Green Daniel Smith that I got in the summer. Oh my gosh, my upstairs neighbors are making that noise and it's the weekend. I thought I was safe from that noise because it's the weekend and that they wouldn't do it on the weekend because it's rude. Okay, unbelievable. Okay, I'm just going to keep going until it gets unbearable. But this is Daniel Smith Cascade Green and this is Holbein Opera, and they are now all in my new watercolor palette that I made and swatched a few videos ago. So that's just like, I just want to see what happens if I mixed those together and just those ones, and yeah. Neocolor 2 little doodles. I don't know. Just playing around with it. I kind of like these. They're kind of like landscapey, a little like mountainous, a little like fields of green, a little deserty. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. It was fun. Oh, here, we're at the last page. Remember, because I did the oranges. So this is a sketch based on a photo I took in the summer, and I used Neocolor 2. Oh, no, I used acrylic gouache, and then I went over it, I think, with some Neocolor 2 and color pencils, maybe. Maybe not even Neocolor 2, I don't know. Man, I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at this game. Guess what I used? This is acrylic gouache and then definitely Neocolor 2. And this is like one of my favorite things I've painted in a long, long time, and it still is. And I definitely want to turn this into like an actual painting. I started laying down the background for making it into an actual painting, but then I like to build up like my acrylic paintings with like layers, and so like I painted it on top of a failed painting. I just kind of like painted the background, and I was going to build it up and add more, and then I never got back to it. So that's like the last actual page, and this was from February 2nd, and then these are just like swatching stuff, testing the paper, whatever, so that doesn't count. Anyway, okay, well, at least we're done now. But that gives you kind of an idea of what my sketchbooks look like, and as I finish more, maybe I'll share more of them. My goal for myself for like the first quarter of the year, because I set quarterly goals and then I forget about them, was to finish at least one sketchbook, and So I did with this one, so like mission accomplished, I'm done. But also, it'd be really great if I could finish another one. And I sort of got into a groove of going through and making like a lot of sketches, and now I'm like not doing so much again. So I don't know. We'll see if it works out. And if I have anything else to show you sketchbook wise. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's the sort of thing that like a video of me just doing one of these types of like filling a sketchbook spread would be interesting, because again, it's like I don't do like finished pieces. I don't do like pretty artwork in my sketchbooks. It's really just like experimentation and doodling and scribbling and just kind of like playing with color and things. But I love seeing people's sketchbook process, no matter what kind of sketchbook they do. So maybe it's worth just doing it anyway, because there might be somebody who likes that, you know? And like, it's not interesting to me just because it's my process, and so it's like, I see it every day, I don't care. But maybe it'd be interesting to you. I don't know. Let me know if you like that kind of stuff, even if it's just like, kind of like a, not time-lapse, but like a edited down like process video with like voiceover chatting about whatever that you can just kind of have on in the background while you sketch. Like, that's my favorite, so I will try to make that kind of like chatty background content. That's like what I'm aiming for. But I want to try and keep it chill and not super over the top, even though I don't know how to do that. But I'm trying. I tried to make this a little more relaxed. You may not think it came across as relaxed, but I assure you it is far more relaxed than my first take a couple weeks ago. So anyway, that's my sketchbook tour for today. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into my sketchbook, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.